everybody, it's Tommy Jo from Bird Street Studio, and I'm here to do a couple of things. I thought I would do this unboxing that is so long overdue, and I would tag this onto a video. So this is some happy mail that I received from Mitzi, and Mitzi at 307 Junk Journals. I received this long before Christmas, but I was so touched by it, and still am, that I didn't think I could get through an opening without sobbing. So anyways, I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to show you all the wonderful things that she sent me. I have already gone through this. And I actually used a piece of something that was in here, but I wanted to credit her for her kindness and her support of my channel. So without further ado, this is an unboxing of some happy mail that I received from Mitzi. And thank you, girly, thank you. So this is the piece that I've already used some of. You probably saw it on our handmade journal. It was the lace that I put on the sides by the spine, front and back. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And I went through this a while ago, and I don't know how people keep track of what other people have sent them, because my instinct here is to put this on a shelf and then credit Mitzi every time I use something, because she deserves credit for sending me this wonderful stuff. On the other hand, I feel like I should start distributing things where I normally store stuff. And if I did that, then I would lose track of who sent it to me. So if you guys have ideas of how you, what you do with your happy mail once you receive it, especially if there's different pieces that you need to put in different areas. I'm not really sure how that works. I'm pretty new. I've only gotten a few things from Happy Mail. So anyways, I'm just going to go through you and show you the stuff that she sent me. This looks like it's Italian. And I'm not really sure where any of this came from. This looks Italian as well. I'm just reading the back of it, and I recognize some Italian words, but I'm not sure. And this is, you can tell, this was her Christmas card to me. Hope your Christmas is as wonderful as you are. Hugs, Mitzi. And it's just lovely. This will go in. I'm saving over here in a corner. I'm saving cards and things that I receive from people, so that'll go in there. And here's a bag. And I already looked at this, and I hate to pull it all out, but it's die cuts, and I have a few die cuts, but not very many. So this is so cool. There's all different papers and colors, different pieces, and I'm really excited. I have a box. This is, let me show you. This is the die cuts that I have. It's one die cut, and then I think I had some frames that came from something else. That's it. That's my die cut selection. So it's going to be neat to be able to put these away if I decide to do that. I hate to do that and not be able to credit her when I use them, but I don't know. Not sure what to do there. So anyways, and then look at this. Oh my heck. Look at this. Oh, it's so beautiful. So there's a tuck right here, and it's got this beautiful butterfly, and it's layered with die cuts and fabric and lace. And then there's a tag back here. I just love it. This might go in my journal. And she's got some little things in a little tuck right here. And another tag. I just watched a video recently of her using these, and she said where she got them, and I can't remember. But look at that punch, very cool. I love everything in this. Alice's Adventures and some die cut here, music paper. Oh my gosh. And look at this. Is this a paper clip? Look at that, a mini. Let me hold it up. It's a mini, like literally a mini, little mini paper clip. Holding that on. That is so cool. And then here's a little pocket with some things that she put in there, the Book Lover's Library. I love to watch Mitzi create. She does such cool things that always give me ideas, always very inspirational. Look at this, it's so cool. I just love this. And then some more here in the back, there's some tags and I just love this. And then on the back, there's like a belly band and it has this pad of papers that are just awesome. Just awesome. So I might just put this in my personal journal because I would add to this. I think I would use this. I think I don't know. Let's see. And then I don't want to drag this out, but I was so amazed by all of the stuff that she sent. These are a bunch of different cards. I've seen people use cards, and I never have because I haven't ever had any. But these are kind of cool. Those are Disney. Yeah, pretty cool. And then more flashcards. I mean, I used flashcards when I was a kid. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm going to move this all aside. So this too looks Italian. I Nostri. Pretty nice. And then she sent me a piece of corrugated cardboard. And I use this, but I oftentimes peel this off. So I don't know what I'm going to use that for, but that's pretty cool. Oh, more cards. And then look at this. Just a page, caterpillars and butterflies. Ooh, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Pretty cool. And then down here, look at this. Is this stunning? Oh my gosh. Look at this. This is absolutely gorgeous. And then there's some lots of, look at this lace. There's a whole bunch of this that I'll put on a card and store it, I think. But look, it's like all, it looks like it's like coffee dyed or something. I can't tell, but it's not a white, it's an off-white, and it's got different tones, so it looks like it was coffee dyed or something. And then this is really cool. This, look at this, is some sort of netting, okay? And then there's a ruffle made out of it. So cool. It would be so cool on a page, right? Oh my gosh, just gorgeous. I've been trying to think of what I could use this for, and I've got a couple ideas, but I'm not sure. And then look at this. Do we feel a journal cover coming on? It's like damask. It's so gorgeous. So absolutely gorgeous. So anyways, I was so thrilled with this. I told Mitzi, I said, I probably won't do an unboxing because Every time I looked at it or tried to do it, it was making me sob. I thought, how kind. Anyways, so I thought I would finally do it before I decided to put it all away and try to figure out how to put it away. So again, if you guys have ideas of how you put away your Happy Mail, do you just keep it in like boxes or together in an area so that when you use it, you can credit people? Or do you just put it away once you unbox it? I'm not sure. Um, but anyways, thank you, Mitzi. And sorry this unboxing took so long, but I kind of get emotional. Love you, girlie. Thank you for the beautiful stuff. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break, blow my nose, and come back and we'll do some crafting. Okay, I'm back from doing my unboxing from Mitzi, and I'm all refreshed. Hopefully I'm not going to get emotional, but anyways, I wanted to kind of show you a little project that I've been working on. And it was funny because just recently I saw a video by Amy at Crafty Cat where she took a piece of fabric and with gesso and distress inks made paint swatches like this, but hers obviously were different, a little different, and they were on fabric. And I thought, oh my gosh, I was working on this project a while back and I kind of abandoned it to finish the handmade journal, and I thought I'd kind of bring you along and show you what I was doing with it. So these are the samples that I already made, and basically these are tags, or you could make any kind of ephemera, but it's kind of based on color. So this would be sort of a neutral, this obviously purple, this like a blue gray turquoise, and kind of the same. And then I decorated, once I made the swatches like these, I just made them on pieces of paper. Once I made those, then I picked out papers, and actually all of these papers are from my scraps, and made tags out of them. I took hole reinforcers and I colored them. So I've got green and gray here. I think the gray will match this one. That's good. But this green that I did doesn't really match this, but we'll see. Anyways, it's all like bits and pieces that I was making. But this is the key that I wanted to show you. These are made from cardboard. So when I save, let me pull it out. I save all my cardboard pieces. You can see them here. Some of them are, as I throw them in here, they don't get caught in the rubber band, but they're the edges of cereal boxes, or in this case, it's my favorite, lemon ice. Now, I don't like all of Italian ice, lemon, but Lindy's I love. Luigi's, not so much, but Lindy's, I love it. My glue stick, at the end of my glue stick box. Let's see, tuna fish box, pasta box, another pasta box. Anyways, they're cereal boxes, Cheez-It boxes. They're all the edges. And what happens is, in a lot of them, they're very, very thick. Okay. Like this would be pretty thick to make a tag out of. But I'm going to show you what I do. And what I've done here is I've peeled most of the label off, okay, when I can. And when you do that, it takes a layer off of this cardboard. So it makes it a lot more pliable, that when you get done collaging on it with papers, it makes it a perfect thickness for a tag. And you don't have to be real perfect. You don't have to get everything off. So basically what I do is I don't even start with that. I kind of pick with my nail and I find a corner and I just start to remove this label. and take it down as far as I can. And what happens is if by using my nail I can't lift it, then I use my X-Acto knife and I just try to lift it a little bit. So I just use that as kind of a helper tool. And like I said, you don't need to get it all off. This is the pile that I have. Just the more you lift off, the thinner your cardboard's going to be. And we're going to collage on this side because this side's perfect for writing. But we're going to collage on this side so it doesn't have to be perfect by any means. And some of these, honestly, you go to lift it and it comes off in like one or maybe two pieces. It really depends on what label it is, how old it is, that kind of thing. So I'm not going to continue on with this right now. I've got a few that I already did, and I thought we would use these. And I'm going to get rid of my paper here. And I'll put these aside. And what we want to do is come up with sizes. And this, if you can see it, it actually has the scored edge on it, and I want to remove that. That's a pretty good size. This we might maybe be able to make into 2 small tags. Let's put this one aside. Let me get my cutter. And I just want to straighten these up and make them the size. Oh, this was the tuna fish can. I can see the circles from the cans. And I want to straighten this side. Actually, let's make a straight edge here. Then we can put this down and cut a straight edge here. Okay, then we know that these 2 edges are straight. So then let's cut a straight edge here. And then a straight edge here. Okay, so there's one, and I think that's a good size. That is about 6.5 inches. So when we cut this down, that'll be perfect. This one I think we can make into 2, and we're going to cut the score part off of it. So let's start with what we have here. And I've got a bunch of collage papers over here. And I also want to pull my scrap papers out. We want our glue book. I'm going to put my scrap papers over here. I got a couple of little projects here I need to move. Okay. So what I had was I made these, and how I made these was on paper, and you can use the back of paper. You can use, if you have plain, like here's a piece of plain paper I have in here. And I used markers. So let's do that first, okay? Let's make, I use Copic markers. You can use Crayola markers. So let's pick a couple of colors. Let's do, I'm looking at my scraps to see what I have. I've got some pretty cool looking scraps. We got pink, gray, trying to think of what other colors. This would be cool. to do some sort of browns. Let's do that. Let's pick some like orangey brown colors. And I've got to test, I always test them on my glue book here. Okay, because I kind of like that. And we want something a little lighter, but in that same tone, right? Oh, that's darker. Looks like darker. I've got them up in front of me here. Oh, that's good. And then something a lot lighter. This looks quite a bit lighter. Yes, let's do those three. How about that? So basically, I take a piece of paper like this, and I'm going to start with my darkest color, and I make a square, just like so. You can use any kind of markers, or actually you could use pencils. You can make these as big or as small as you'd like. Take the next one, make another square. And they just kind of resemble like paint chips. I don't know, kind of different. And then another one, and these seem to be smaller than the original ones that I made, but that's okay. We can make them bigger if we want. And I want to go right down here and make it that wide. Perfect. And then I took a multi-liner like this, and I just roughly drew like black line, outlined them like this. Just like that. Okay, so then you have a piece like this. We want to cut this down. Like I said, this is just a piece of scrap paper. You can use scrap cardstock. You could use coffee dyed cardstock. You could use whatever you want. I have an idea for something after watching Amy do something on fabric today. I have an idea, but I haven't tried it out. So I'm not going to do that until I can actually try and see if it works. And then I'm just going to use my vintage photo. I think on these I used a black to distress it. So we want to, change, because it's bright white paper that I did this on. Okay, so then that gives us our brown. Now we need brown things. Well, I can distress these by taking a distress tool and going over these in brown. Or if I want, I can take, like, say the medium brown and just color them, right? And let it dry. And that's all quite a bit darker. And on some of these, I didn't put reinforcers on it because I put a topper on it. But if I had something that I wanted to go through a reinforcer, I did that one purple. I did that just distress. So we will hold that aside and put our markers away. But that's how I made these little strips. I just took 3 markers that were similar. You could do, I could have done like these 3 Copics. If I wanted to do orange, I could have done those. I've got all my Copics up here. I have my Blicks up here. But the Crayolas are very affordable for people. So if you have a chance, they're a real good marker to invest in. And so that's how we got our little swatches. So now I'm going to put this away. We're going to collage these and try to kind of match these colors. I think I'll do this one here. I don't know. Let's do pink maybe. I don't know. We'll see what we got. But what I saw was I had these papers and I thought they would kind of go good with this. What do you think? I think so. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to get my glue stick. Oh, I have to get a new one. I must have used the other one. Hold on just a second. Now we'll see if my microphone works because I have it hooked on. I got a new microphone. Not a new microphone. I got a microphone because I never used one. And if I went off camera, nobody could hear me. So we will see if that worked. Okay, I got a new glue stick. Oh, that would look pretty with the green. Kind of like those. Ooh, painty papers. Oh, look at that. Okay. I could go crazy making these, but I don't know if I have any other greens that I could mix with that. It's a pretty neutral. Maybe we will switch and not do the brown one right now. How about that? And because I have a bunch of like these gray things that would match. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch it out. So let's put this aside, put this one aside. And we're going to do this one first. Take all these pieces and we want to, oh, look at that. Like perfect. And again, we are going to collage on the side where we tore the wrappers off. So it doesn't matter, excuse me, it does not matter that we have paper left on there. Anyways, these are like really fun. If you make them by color and you don't put any kind of a focal point on them, the focal point becomes like, if you look at these, the focal point becomes this, and which is based on a color. Same with this. Although it has some flowers, it's purple. That's the focal point. Blue. This one does have a bird, but it's basically, it's the focal point is the color. So you can actually decorate them as long as you stick by color, or you could just leave them blank to dress when you put them in a journal. But I like the idea that we can go ahead and decorate them. They are completed and we can use them in a journal based on just the color. that's just me. I just love them. And again, I saw Amy doing something with color, kind of like paint chippy type colors, and I thought, oh my gosh, I need to finish that project I was working on. Okay, I do want to put this on here because I just love this piece. This is a piece of a napkin. And I'm thinking if I just put it here, that would be pretty cool. Maybe up at this end. I think like that. But I don't want to put the glue on this napkin because it'll just rip it. So I'm going to put it on our piece and then add a little glue after the fact. How's that? Okay. It is collaged. Now we want to go ahead and cut our corners. Nice. I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and move this aside and let's do the next one, the green one. Okay. Oh, I did it on the wrong side. Did I do this one? No, I did that one on the right side. Well, we'll either need to peel some more of this off or we're going to have to cover this because I covered the wrong side. Were you guys all shouting at me, Tommy, that's the wrong side? Oh, can't believe I did that. Okay, it's okay. Guess what? We can recover. Okay, so we'll do our pink one, and I have some pretty pink paper in here. Let's see what else we have that's could be pinkish. I have all pink paper. I have this pink. It's a little different. That's like a coral. Not good. These are all coral. You want pink. Oh, I see some. I see something that's very pink. Oh, I like that. And guess what? We could probably use that whole piece. Ha ha ha. Shows to go you that you don't have to necessarily piece everything, but we can if we want. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tear this. Maybe. No, I want to use all of this, I think. Okay, so and then we use this part as half. I like it. Okay, we're going to do it. So So let's put this one down. It's so funny. I have two long tables here, and I end up getting myself into this little itty bitty square to craft in. It's like crazy. Turn it over, Tommy. Good job. Thought of that before it was too late. Anyways, it's so funny because I end up getting myself into this little tiny area to craft, and it's like, why do I do that? Why don't I just spread right out? No, that would be too easy. Scissors. You know what? I put this in my trash. I want to keep that little piece. Okay. Okay, and then I'm really liking this, or do I like this better? I think I kind of like that. I like the darkness of this, so I'm going to use this one. This is actually a piece of the bottom half of book page, or the side part of book page. You know, the edge that you cut off. See where the numbers are? That would have been good on that side, huh? Oh well. Okay, and then all we are ready to do is decorate these babies. Right? Now, if these were wider, we could make them, I mean, into journaling cards. The wider cereal boxes end up being almost about 3 inches. So you could make those like 3x5s, and they'd make great journaling cards, and you wouldn't have to cut the corners to make tags, right? Try to think. Well, these Kellogg's ones are really wide. The Crispix, let's see how wide. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're 3 inches. Okay. And you and then the side panel, they're 13. So you could get two 3x5 cards out of one of these. You'd have to maybe cover up this part because this would be the writing side, because it's the best. You'd have to take the front off of that, but it would work. Okay, so we need to get some decorations for these. I'm going to take a sip of coffee, and I'm going to go pull some ephemera, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and I pulled some pink kind of ephemera things. This is some, I don't know, I got these, I'm trying to think of where I got them. I don't remember, but I had to do something pink, so I bought them, and they're a little cutesy. But let's see. One says Love Life. That might be nice. Something like this. We could cut this down a little bit. And then maybe a butterfly or something. Let's see. Let's see what we have. Oh, there's a pretty. Oh, that would be pretty, huh? Or, oh wait, we got a brighter one. Kind of like the lighter one, but I kind of like that brighter one. What else we got in here? I need to cut some butterflies. I've got, oh, look at that one. Oh, that's kind of orangey. I have a lot of digitals, and I just haven't bothered to cut them out. Oh, that's the same as that one. See? I was gravitating. I think I love this with this color here, but I love this softer one with the softer pinks, and I think I'm going to go softer. I don't know why. They don't match as well, but I don't know. So we got a butterfly for that, and maybe we need a label. Not sure what kind of label I'm looking for. Something. Ooh, look, there's a purple label. That was a homemade one. Kind of like that plain. This is not quite as bright red. Don't like it as much. Okay, so I've got more of these, like the ones with flowers. Let me see what we have here. We have okay, I think that's it. Just like that. I like that. Okay, so there's one. And then we've got this green one. And what I thought was I could just maybe this bird is actually from Louisa Heinzel's. It's one of her digitals. I want to make this a straight edge. I think I like that, just like that. Okay, and then this one I was having a little bit of a struggle with because I liked a lot of things. Okay, so I pulled out, here's the basic, here's our little color swatch, and I pulled out this is like a book cover. I loved it. And then this is an octopi. Kind of thought that was cool. But then from our Handmaid's Tale, we had this girl. I kind of liked her as well. But I think I want to get away from that. So we're going to make this work. Oh, we have our, no, okay. We're going to make this work somehow. I'm not really sure how, if I want to cut this down. I really like this book. Okay. And I think maybe we just need to do this and then add Yep. Add something, a little something, something from here. I think that'll do it. That was pretty easy, huh? Okay, so now we got to glue them all on. That's the problem. Okay, so this I want to make sure I distress when I want to distress. So let's do this. And if later when I put this on a journal, if I want to add something I can, but I think I want to put something right here. I think I want to move that up, and then I want to put something right here. I wonder if we have like label fit in there that would look kind of cool. That will look kind of cool. There's green. Just thinking that I might need like a round or something, a different shape, because I already put the squares on there. Oh, I like that. I think we got it, by golly. But because these are cardstock, I'm going to use my Barely Art glue. Maybe. Maybe, baby. Anyways, thank you, Amy at Crafty Cat, for your project that reminded me that I need to get back to work on this one. And I was looking for a little project to add on the end of my unboxing of Mitzi's Happy Meal, so this works out perfect. Okay, we've got this one. Now we got to figure out how to put this one in. I think I want to cut this one down. And I'll still distress it, but I just wanted it to be a little smaller. Okay, I think I want to distress this. Okay, something like that. I'm not sure where these came from either. I think these came from, like, I did one time, I did when Temu hauls were the big deal. Can't do them now because they're not cost effective. But I did do a Temu haul, and I think I got those in with a batch of, there were stickers and little pieces of paper and whatever. But you know what I also found out when I did that haul is a lot of the papers in there were stolen designs from, and I knew it because I had purchased a digital a long while back, and some of the papers in there were replicated from that. So I would say it was a stolen design. Maybe I'll go like this. And then what we'll do is we will just draw some antennae on this like that. Doop, doop, doop. Love it. Okay, so there's that one. And this one, okay, we want to put that up about the white circle. When you use a new glue stick, you end up with glue all over the place, and it doesn't dry very fast. Okay, so we want to put this one, and I'm thinking right about there. And this one, I think I want to cut down to this edge. So aren't these cool, these little paint colors? I mean, literally, you could sit and do these all day long. You know what I mean? And then you'd have, and then you could make tags and cards and whatever and use those on them. I just think that's such a cool idea. Okay, we're going to use our Burley art for these. Whoops. Okay, I want to go ahead and distress them. I always round the corners of my tags, usually at the bottoms. I almost always, because it makes them slide in and out of pockets or tucks a lot easier without getting caught. So if you just put a little, you can do that by hand, just round the edge by hand, or if you have a corner rounder, just do that. And I just use the 1/4 inch. I don't want it. Oh, this is the one we may have to back, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. But the ones that we don't need to back that are ready for writing, these are nice. They're firm tags, but they're not too heavy because we took that extra layer of coating off the top. This one we already did that. I want to trim this a little bit where it's overhanging. I love them. Okay, now we've just got to put on we've just got to put on our things. We have to poke our hole, which I bought a new hole punch. Hello. I don't know if you remember, anybody that watched me knew that my old hole punch had no spring in it. So every time you'd punch a hole, you'd punch it and it would stay there and I'd have to lift it apart. So I bought a new one. I got actually this size, kind of standard size, and a smaller one. Now these, I'm going to use the Barely Art to reinforce them, because these are pretty old reinforcers and they might come right off of that baby. And I am going to put one on the back. I don't know why some people just put them on the front. I think you only have to, if you're doing paper, you only have to put it on one side. But all the time I was in school and that, I always put them on both sides. I don't know why. I don't know. Telling me crazy. Okay, so that's that. And then we don't have the pink ones, but we do have these green, and I think that would be fine. Even though it's a little bit different color green, I think we're good. We could use brown, but I really like the green. Let me check the brown. I don't know, I really like the green, so I'm going to use the green. I know that when I play this back, I'm going to look at that brown and think how nice that looked, but you know what? It is what it is. That's how it always works out for me. I make a decision, and then I always, when I'm like editing the video or something and playing it back, it's like, why didn't I use that? Why didn't I pick that one? Because it looks different on camera than it does in real life. Oh, I'm going to have to put something on the back of that or peel that off, which I'm not going to do now. I'll do that after. There's two, and then we have a pink one. So I'm going to go ahead and color a couple of these pink. Let's see what color we want. That'd be a pretty color, huh? These are my alcohol markers. A light pink, or do we want, I think we want something brighter. Let's pick, ooh, I like it. Now you could use your distress inks to do that, or any other marker. Kind of liking that. Oh, hello, Tommy, you gotta poke your hole. And again, we don't need to poke holes. We could just put a different topper on there, but I think for these, I just want them poked. I want the hole poked. And I'm not going to put ribbon or anything in these today because I don't know what journals are going to go in. And if I pick a journal that I use a fabric or something, I might want to pick a fabric or something to match that. So we will not be putting ribbons in these. Okay, so let's revamp what we did. So these were my sample tags that I had. Okay, so these already have ribbons or something in them right here. And then what we made today was this one. Love it. We made our pink one. Really pretty as well. And then we made our green one. I love it. So I hope you try this, and I hope you realize that you can just, peel the cover off of these cardboard pieces and use them as tags. Like, this is pretty, it's not real thick. It's about, I don't know, it's heavy as maybe a 110 cardstock, and some are heavier than others depending on what you start with. But in general, great way to make tags and use up your cardboard. So Mitzi, thank you so much for my Happy Mail. I really appreciate it. You are a fabulous friend, fabulous supporter. Thank you to all my subscribers, past, present, and future. If you're a new subscriber, welcome, and thank you so much. I really appreciate you subscribing and becoming a part of my community. And before I get all emotional, I think that's it. I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.